Me 38 years old and my wife 37 years old have been together for 18 years. We had our daughter when we were both she was 20 and I was 21, and she was the best thing that's ever happened to me. I am a devoted Christian, and I know if you guys hear that you probably think I'm homophobic, but I fully support the LGBTQ, but at the same time do not support their way of thinking. No offense to anyone in the LGBTQ. Anyways, when my daughter was 14, she came out to me and the wife as a lesbian. Me and my wife were shocked because we had all being devoted Christians. But we accepted her because she is my daughter, and I love her no matter what. In June 2022, my wife told me she didn't want to be Christian anymore. When I heard this, I stated getting suspicious for a reason I found out later. And in October 2022, my wife and her friend who is lesbian went out for a girls' night out. Little I know she went to a strip club. She came back later that night and told me what she had done, and she asked me to forgive her. I was hesitant, but I forgave her, but told her not to do again. Little did I know she actually became friends with a girl from the strip club. After a month or two, I woke up in the middle of the night hearing my wife's phone going off constantly. My wife has always been a heavy sleeper, so she probably didn't hear it. Well, I've always been a light sleeper. Me and my wife share the same phone password for trust purposes. So I checked to see why she was getting so many notifications. So when I looked at her phone, it said message from a phone number that I did not recognize. Curious, I opened the phone and I saw that this other person that was texting my wife was women, and there's any explicit photos to each other and talking dirty talk between my wife and her each other. I didn't really want to assume anything, so I put the phone down and went back to bed, even though it was hard because of all these thoughts are going through my head about my wife cheating. So one night when my wife went clubbing with her lesbian friend that I mentioned, I did the hardest thing I think I've ever done in my life, and I decided to follow them even though I mostly trusted my wife not to do anything with this person on her phone. They ended up going to the same strip club for 2 hours, and when they left with this one girl that I did not recognize. They ended up going to her lesbian friend's apartment where they stayed until 5 in the morning. I stated to put things together, but I wanted to make sure I was 100% correct. So I told my wife I would be gone for 3 days on a business trip to South Carolina. By the way, I'm in DC right now. This was, of course, I lied to see if I can catch her in the act. I only drove around the corner to my neighbor's house and hid my car in his garage because he also said that my wife was suspicious because he saw a car pull in that he did not recognize as month before when I was at work. Only an hour later, I saw a black SUV which I did not recognize at all pull into my driveway. So I thought this was the moment I would catch her in the act, and surprise, surprise, I found her in my bed with some woman having sex. I yelled at the woman to get out my house, almost throwing out naked. My wife started crying and saying how I was too distant from her and how she felt alone all these times and how she came out bisexual and I should be supportive of her decision and how it's not cheating because there was no penetration. I started screaming at her because why would she cheat? She told me I'm being homophobic for not letting her express herself, so I got angry and threw her out of the house. When my daughter came home, I told her the truth and how her mother was cheating on me. And she said I was being an asshole and not letting her mother express herself, being bisexual, and how I should be supportive. She later packed her things and left to go to where her mother was staying, which was the lesbian friend's house. For 2 straight months, I couldn't see my daughter because she blocked me everywhere, and in these 2 months, I was in a very depressed state seeing how both my wife and my daughter hated me. After these 2 months, and then I decided to man up, as you say, and I went to be with a lawyer to divorce my wife. But now I know if I divorce my wife, she'll get up almost more than half my things and I'll be homeless because she would get the house and full custody of my child. So I decided I would wait for my 17-year-old daughter turned 18 and divorce my wife and move to Beach House, which is where I am right now thinking through things and then writing this to all of you guys and then cut off my wife's side of the family off and my daughter off for take my wife's side. Well, here I have been receiving some backlash online and I've been wondering if I am in the wrong. So can you guys please tell me in the comments if I'm wrong or not? Sorry for the long text.